Now, just on the billionaires, so Gina Rinehart, of course, has got this very public family squabble over dividing up their extraordinary wealth. Now, Barnaby Joyce got involved and sent a letter to the kids saying they should back off. Let's hear from Tony Windsor and Barnaby Joyce.
Why would a member of parliament actually write to someone's children advising them not to take legal action against a relative? The only thing that I can see is that the lady in question happens to be the wealthiest woman in Australia.
I know, because I am a public figure, that if you can give some people some advice about that, then maybe that's what you should do. Obviously failed miserably. That's life.
Zod.
Would you like to get Barnaby to write and sort out your problems with your kids? I wouldn't.
Right. Look,
nice
Tony,
chat, but, not my first port of call.
Had Albie Schultz?
Yeah,
No, Albie's a lovely bloke.
Exactly.
But
Well, what Julia Gillard, of course, is trying to do is to link Clive Palmer with the opposition more generally. Here she is.
The interesting thing here is Clive Palmer says something one day and Tony Abbott parrots it the next. We will always make decisions in the national interest. The billionaires don't tell us what to do.
I think it is really pathetic behaviour from a desperate Prime Minister. And, her words attack billionaires, but her policies attack families.
Tony, are you Clive Palmer's toy boy?
He couldn't afford me, Carl. I'm standing up for the families of Australia.
But to some extent, though, as all of this means that the debate over the mining tax is now being framed against this background. And Wayne Swan has achieved that by the monthly article.
I think the monthly article was completely a political exercise and entirely to do this, to make out that Tony Abbott is the billionaire's buddy, to set up this period of political debate in exactly those terms.
I don't know that that's going to work, though, and I think it shows also that the government's probably been a bit worried that Abbott's been too successful in pinching a bit of Labor's working class base. All those factory floor visits, I think, are paying off, so this is their way of trying to entice them back by, attacking the billionaires and trying to build up. Maybe it will, but I don't know that kind of tactic works anymore. I mean, Australia today is very different from the Australia of 50 years ago, when the class warfare thing might have worked. And also, I think a treasurer these days, the job of a treasurer should be to build bridges between business and the community and government. And the way Swan has been carrying on, even though he's building up these figures of hate, which is very easy to do because Rinehart and co are quite colourful, is to accentuate the divisions in the community and the conflict of the community. And that shouldn't be the job of a treasurer.
I don't disagree with any of that, but I think that Labor could potentially make the attack work if they segue from the discussion about billionaires into a discussion about the stuff that the mining tax will pay for. And that is things that will be popular in the electorate, like increasing the tax-free threshold, for instance. If they can make that segue, then I think they might be able to make political mileage out of the whole thing.
There was an essential media poll on Monday, which was very interesting, and it found that people did think that the wealthy had undue influence on policy and political debate. But it also found that people were considered rich if individuals earned something like 150 grand a year. So forget the billionaires. The punters out there are worried about people earning more than 150 grand a year.
And the challenge for the shadow economic team surely is now to come up with some credible costings, but also credible oversight of those costings. Tony Abbott has talked about an audit, and that's had some impact in terms of the way that people see the coalition's approach. But surely, in the end, who oversees their costings is going to be critical.
Well, that's the big question. I mean, the audit is something that would happen after the election, and I actually think it's quite a good idea, because I think the public service has been squeezed in terms of how it does things already, and the only way they're going to get big savings out of the public service is if they actually change the way that it operates. So that's not, I think it's quite a good idea, but it doesn't help with the savings task before the election by definition. And the savings task, they have this problem that they don't want to use the Parliamentary Budget Office because they say it would dictate the timing of the announcement of their policies. Okay. Last time they used an accountancy firm, that didn't work out very well. Joe Hockey's simply saying now, oh, you'll all be pleasantly surprised. And I think he's mentioned, a panel of eminent Australians or something like that. But whatever they do, they're going to have to be very careful that it is credible and is seen to be credible.
And it'll be all last minute, won't it? It'll be right in the last week or so
well,
of the
except
election.
that they are working on all that now. I mean, the thing is, it's not all being left till the last minute. So hopefully, by the time the election comes around, they will have it all nailed down, and it will.
Hopefully,
be,
but you don't
credible.
hold it. You don't hold an inquiry unless you know the results in politics. We know that. Then the Commission of Audit.
You don't take soundings from a board about a chairman unless you know the result either. But anyway,
we'll go back to there and spend another half hour on it if you like. But the Commission of Audit it has been in the past, in both federal and state Liberal parties, a vehicle for getting done what you wanted to do in the first place. And I think that's why it's been adopted by Tony Abbott. And as Eleanor said, it's after the election anyway.